Hello everyone, hello. Spencer here with some more Final Fantasy XIV. We are on patch 3.4. We are going into Ala Mhigo to question them about some crystal shipments that they got. Because if you go on the last stream there, things are starting to come to a head with certain warriors of darkness, and yeah, we tracked some of their crystal shipments to the Titan. We went through Zelpatol and stopped Garuda from being summoned. The Titan story was super sad. And now we have the use at Li'l Ala Mhigo. Huh? Resistance? Damned if I know. It's not as if I'd be any use to him. If you set store by all these tales of secret weapons, good luck to you. But I'm too old for the mask's bedtime stories. This is our lot, and it's time we got used to it. The mask? We got Jim Carrey up in here now? There's Siegfried. Now, let me guess. Come to join the fight, have you? No need to deny it, friend. You're not the first to answer the Griffin's call. Well, he's lit a fire in every Ala Mhigan's heart. He's also inspired more than a few Uldans to pledge himself to the cause. It's little wonder. The Garleans won't stop until we're all under the yoke. I see you're going around asking questions, looking for the Griffin and his lot, I bet. Seems they're the talk of Li'l Ala Mhigo these days. Folk wondering what he's about, what he's got in store for the Garleans, and what's under that mask of his, of course. Some say he's hardly got a face, what with all the scars. Others reckon he's been marked for death by the Empire, and they'd send a bloody legion if they knew he was here. Your guess is as good as mine. Hey, Jeremy. Who's this Griffin we're hearing about now? This isn't why we're here at all. Sir L. Okay, hang on, there's something I need to do. It should be, but it hasn't been abbreviating their name during the like in the party list. Hi, Squirmels. Huh. Could have sworn it was possible. Hold on. Hey, Cheshire! How you doing today? How's your week been so far? I suppose I should ask what you learned, but I think I already know. This Griffin seems to be the leader of a newly formed faction within the Resistance. The Masks. Yet, despite their growing popularity, no one seems to know much about them, only that they are the most aggressively militant group to join the movement in recent memory. Indeed, many claim their commitment to the cause of Ala Mhigan liberation is unrivaled. But we can hope the revolutionary fervor is never channeled in the direction of a primal. Though I feel confident that this is the group which received the crystal shipments, we yet lack proof. Before taking any action, I would speak with the settlement's leader to confirm my suspicions, and mayhap enlist his help while I'm about it. Given that you and Gundabald are already acquainted, mayhap it would be best if you took the lead. Shall we? I mean, a sensible sensation, but you could have tried talking to him. But yeah, Cheshire, how's your week going? Jeremy, what you up to today other than trying to help your parents with some IT?
Much as it pleases me to see you again, Miro, I cannot help but wonder if I should be worried. I hear you and yours have been asking questions. The Griffin? I know of him, as do we all. He and his mask have become a leading faction within the Resistance. Though there was suspicion at first given his secretive ways, he quickly proved himself a charismatic and capable commander. Men are drawn to his passion and his vision. They truly believe that he has what it takes to lead them to victory. And I cannot help but admire the man for what he has accomplished. But I have not forgotten Wilred. I was blind to the danger of his ambitions. You were not. The Griffin will soon deliver a speech to our people at the sunken Temple of Khan. Go and see him with your own eyes. Weigh his words with your own heart. How convenient. 'Tis but a pity Thancred is not here to join us. You two go on ahead. I shall stay behind and wait for him. Playing the new game from the devs who made a machine for pigs. Your AC broke yesterday in 90+ degree heat. Say the internet wasn't working when you woke up. Man, you're not having a good time of it there, Cheshire. I'm sorry. Apparently someone vandalized my dad's the network box outside his place, and he's been without internet. I don't know if it's back or not. He probably is, and he's just using that as an excuse at this point. I can't imagine they'd leave that unfixed for long. Hey there, Alphino. Has it begun already? I hear voices coming from within.
Brothers and sisters, 20 years ago, Ala Mhigo, our home, was claimed by the Garlean Empire. In our haste to overthrow the King of Ruin, we turned a blind eye to our foes in the north. With our glorious revolution, we but laid a path for a new tyrant to succeed the old. And when confronted with our failure, we fled. Not a day goes by that I do not think of those we left behind. Think of them and feel ashamed. And I know each and every one of you feels the same. We abandoned them, our own flesh and blood, to labor till their backs gave in and their breath gave out, building the twisted steel ramparts which now mar our once majestic mountains. We abandoned them, the brave and true, to fight and die for their country, or worse, to be conscripted and sent off to rob another poor bastard of his home. We abandoned them, the meek and powerless, to bow and scrape when the Garleans pass, to sully themselves that they might live to see another day of misery. The Black Wolf may be dead, but a new Imperial Viceroy reigns in Ala Mhigo now. A beast, not a fraction as merciful. You all know the Eorzean Alliance will do naught to oppose him. For all their promises and platitudes, they will not act if there's no profit in it. Only we can free our brothers and sisters from the Empire's tyranny, my friends. Only we have the courage to stand and fight. They have imprisoned us. They have enslaved us, and they have murdered us, but no more! Blood demands blood, and the Garleans shall pay for every drop they have spilt upon our lands! This, I promise you, For we have a power within us, my friends. A power befitting our pride, our righteousness. Only join us, and we shall grant you the means to unleash it, and together we shall see the Ala Mhigan standard raised over the mountains of Gia Albania once more!
A power befitting their pride. Not at all ominous, that. Wait, is that...
What are you two doing here?
I could ask you the same thing.
Well, well, this is quite the surprise.
If you see what I see, if you feel as I feel...
Might I suggest we continue this conversation in more agreeable surroundings?
For it is not strength of arms that will win this battle, but strength of heart.
Jeremy says, my back gave out, my breath gave in, and Cheshire asks, in real life? To which Jeremy says, no, thankfully. To which I say, mine did. I hated it. Hi, Chocobo. Words cannot express how glad I am to see you both alive and well. And you, though it was pretty obvious you and Miro would be fine. The Crystal Braves never had a realistic chance of capturing any of the Scions, divided as they were and distrusted by the better part of Eorzea. But if you truly believe that, forgive me, what exactly have you two been doing all this time? Repaying a favor. After the banquet, we had no choice but to flee Ul'dah, and we would not have been able to do so without the aid of some old friends from the Resistance. That's right, they smuggled us out of the city and sheltered us in Li'l Ala Mhigo, all at great risk to themselves. Obviously, we couldn't let that go unacknowledged, so we offered to help them with our with their operations for a while. Then we learned of when we learned of the Scion's exoneration, that Lolorito had severed all ties with the Crystal Braves, and that General Raban had been reinstated, we resolved to make contact, but having long since discarded our link pearls as a precautionary measure, our options were rather limited. To make matters more complicated, we were embroiled in a delicate operation at the time, leaving me with little choice but to entrust a letter to a courier. I gather from your puzzled expressions, however, that you never received it. And to be honest, we thought this might happen. While the masks are happy to let the refugees spread the word within the community, they're pretty strict about communicating with outsiders. Oh, and we also heard the rumor that the Griffin doesn't want us meddling in his affairs. The Griffin mistrusts the Scions of the Seventh Dawn? I'm curious, it is well known that we are no friends of Garlemald. One would think the man we saw beseeching all and sundry to join his cause would welcome the support. I should say the man you saw was not in fact the Griffin, but an impersonator, and a talented rabble-rouser to boot. It would not surprise me if he were responsible for the majority of these public appearances. As you may have gathered, the Griffin is an extremely cautious and distrusting man who has made every effort to conceal his identity. Even when we participated in a raid under his direct command, we were not permitted to approach him. It's hard to know what to make of it all. The secrecy, the impersonators, the masks. What? It's not as if I'm making all of you wear one. And mine only covers half my face. It's completely different. Anyway, when we heard the Griffin was due to give a speech, we thought it might be a good opportunity to get a better sense of the man behind the, to get a better sense of the man. For all the good it did. And now you have heard the whole of it, but tell me, what prompted you to take an interest in the Griffin? Summoning? Even serious? I can't believe it.
The Resistance would never entertain even such a ridiculous plan. But the Griffin, well, the man is an enigma. I cannot say with any confidence what he would or would not do. What do you mean the Resistance would never entertain such a ridiculous plan? The first time we met them here in Li'l Ala Mhigo, that's exactly what they were considering. Not all of them mind, but some of them. What I can say, however, is that the speech we heard today was not the first to make a reference to a power capable of defeating the Empire. The masks have made many such claims of late, I confess. I had assumed it to be mere bluster, but in the context of the shipments of which you spoke, it is not impossible that they are alluding to a primal. Whatever it is, we'll find out together, and if anyone tries to stop us, they'll answer to me. Indeed, that is, assuming you'll have us? The tongue-in-cheek there bit with Ida talking about how ridiculous it is that he's wearing a mask is hilarious. Alright, we got spell speed food, skill speed food, and spaghetti pescatori. If, as you suspect, the Griffin is indeed plotting to summon a primal, we must needs obtain confirmation while there is yet time to act. To that end, I propose we question his double. You guys are fighting General Lothar. Congrats, you won. Given his role as the group's de facto mouthpiece, I should not be surprised if he were one of the Griffin's closest associates. And while he may not be aware of the most sensitive details, he can probably tell us the master plans in broad strokes. Like the man whom he impersonates, however, he is wary of his outsiders. He will not expose himself without a suitable incentive. My plan is as follows. You and Alphino will pose as adventurers fallen on hard times, inspired by his words to take up arms for a noble cause. Ida and I, as members of the Resistance, will recount tales of your past achievements and testify as to your usefulness in the struggles ahead. With your enthusiastic assurances ringing in his ears, he will decide to welcome you in person, and we will arrange a meeting. You will need to look the part that we might maintain the charade, until we have him cornered at least. Here, this should be enough to purchase suitable garments from Tailbot, and to have him rub a respectable amount of dirt on them for good measure. Any questions? It all seems simple enough, thank you. And with that, Mira, let us be off. Alright. If you recall, we did speak to Tailbot briefly there. I imagine it's supposed to be Talbot. No, I actually have no idea. He's Tailbot. That's his name. Hey, you want to buy what? I don't know what you're up to, but I want no part of it. A heavy leather pouch entrusted to you by Papalimo. Not all problems can be solved with a fistful of gil. For the rest, one only needs to resort to a sack. Well, you're the ones with the gil, and seeing as you're friends of Papalimo, there, tunic and slops for you, for the both of you. Tailored and treated to your tastes. Now off with you, before someone sees us together. Do you think he shit on them? He soiled them for us? Clothes make the man, make it the man, as they say. Right then, I will go and change and see you at the spot Papalimo marked on our maps. Where did they mark? Okay, he's up there. Alright. The weathered shepherd's tunic and slop. You figure the, No, this makes some sense. Alright, we gotta pick a new pet. By the way, guys, Midgard Summer is on my shoulder here. I've pointed them out a few times, but if you didn't see. Today's pet, however, will be the Gubu Sproutling. Look at that cute guy. Look at him. He's so little, but gigantic for a pet. And the way he runs is hilarious. He absolutely pre-soiled them for you. Hey, this is like when we were Why do I have two of these? Okay. Apparently I already had this outfit. I paid money for something that I already had. They won't notice the King Slime's hat, the boots, gloves, or daggers, right? Well, look at us, a pair of down-at-heel adventurers seeking a chance to recapture past glories. Yes, this should suffice. And now we play the waiting game.
My thanks, comrades. You must be the esteemed adventurers of whom I've heard so much. I understand you have taken an interest in our cause.
A great interest, you might say. Your words have certainly made quite an impression on my friend and I. The Resistance has long, and some would say wisely, avoided open engagements with the Garleans, but you and yours seem confident against the world in arms. I can only assume you have good reason to be so bold. Why, one might even think you are planning to summon a primal. Because that would do much to explain the sizable shipment of crystals you recently received from your smuggler friends, whom our Ishgardian allies have since detained, lest you wonder.
I'd like to hear more about the Griffin. The real Griffin. Your performance earlier didn't fool us.
Ah, the famous scions of the Seventh Dawn. I should have known better than to think I could conceal the truth from you lot. You are right. I am not the Griffin, but I speak with his voice, and it was at his behest that we procured those crystals. You are wrong, however, if you think that we procured them to summon a primal. We used them to reach an accord with the Amalja. In exchange for crystals to summon their god, they will aid us in the fight for Ala Mhigan liberation.
You've got to be joking. Have you gone completely mad? When people find out you helped the Lizardmen summon Ifrit, they'll turn on the Resistance. Ala Mhigo will never be free.
This isn't a fairy tale, girl. We don't have the luxury to play at being honourable heroes. It's because the likes of you wouldn't sully your saintly hands that Ala Mhigo's been under the yoke for the past 20 years. But the Griffin won't stand for it, and neither will we. We're ready to do whatever it takes.
What proof do you have of this arrangement with the Amalja?
What? Aside from a lack of crystals? None. But the beastmen have a great big pile of the things if you fancy looking. You might want to hurry, though. It'll not be long before they summon their god. Search our camp if you don't believe me. We have naught to hide.
If there is a cache to be found, Ida and I will find it.
Then let us be off. Are you perchance the Warrior of Light? Aye, I thought so. You should know that a great many who have joined us did so because you saved them. Because you showed them that one brave woman can make a difference. You saved me too once. Helped a friend over in Quarry Mill make some medicine I needed. But that was a lifetime ago. On behalf of my brothers and sisters, I thank you. You gave us hope where there was none, courage and strength when all was lost. We shall not squander your gift.
I know that look, Ida, and I do not like it. You cannot seriously be contemplating taking up arms with that band of cutthroats.
I just...
If the Griffin and his men have their way, it is only a matter of time before the situation in Ala Mhigo comes to a head. Your homeland's future teeters on a knife edge, and any reckless action, however small, could have irrevocable consequences. You mustn't lose sight of that, Ida. When the time comes, we must all make our choices, but we must do so in full possession of the facts. Now, let us away. There is work to be done.
Hey Peppalimo, maybe don't insult Ida if you want her to stay loyal to the Scions. I imagine at this point he can get away with it, but you're probably right overall. Quarry Mill, he said. Do you remember? You cannot be expected to recall the name, every name and face. And besides, it's not as if it matters. I have long admired how you live in the present, how you focus on the problems at hand and always keep moving forward. So let us keep moving forward together. Miro, we must find and secure those crystals. This is no time for looking back. So do you guys remember the first time we came to Li'l Ala Mhigo? They wouldn't talk to us. We had to find a way in with them, and we found a group in Quarry Mill, a guy who was trying to get medicine for his brother, but the elementals said no, go fuck yourself. And the healers in the town were like, well, the elementals said no, so go fuck yourself. So we were like, alright, we'll help you. And we went and got the antelope horns for him. That's the guy we actually that we just spoke to. He remembers us, and it's a good reference. Hang on, I'm gonna equip my gear here again. Sorry, I have a mini cat in my arms right now, so she's kind of slowing me down at this moment. Alphino would keep moving forward. If we take the Griffin's double at his word, then the crystals are now somewhere within Zaharak, ready to be put to use by the Amalja. We must apprise Alice of all that we have learned. I will join you both in Li'l Ala Mhigo after I have changed. Fucking... me changing into my outfit there reminds me of when, fucking Alphino points out that Thancred might come out of the live stream completely naked. And then he's like, just like you did, Ishtola. It's a name, it's a sight I won't soon forget. And she's like, you won't now, will you? Alright guys, we're gonna take a quick break and then I will be back here in just a moment to continue on with our quest line. But yeah, that line always cracks me up. Alphino very quickly put his foot in his mouth. Be right back, guys.